particularly with regard to Turkey, for example, I see the involvement, for example, in Somalia as an expression of Turkey's wider desire to play a more active and visible role on the world stage. I think Turkey has emerged in the last 10 to 15 years as a significant player globally, but particularly with vis-a-vis, for example, its role in with regard to Europe or the Mediterranean countries. So I see its much publicized engagement in Somalia as linked to its wider role on the international stage, and I think it would be naive not to expect Turkey or any of the new actors not to have self-interest, be it commercial or political, as a motivation. You don't suddenly go from your country to a new country simply to do good and then pack your bags when the, for example, humanitarian situation improves. The desire to also do good is inevitably linked also to having a political foothold, to advancing your economic interests and commercial ties for the companies in your country. After all, a government has a responsibility to increase prosperity for its own citizens and its own companies. So, for example, particularly with regard to Turkey, I think Turkey saw an opportunity in Somalia at a time when not only was the international community represented by the traditional actors, not only were they absent, but they were also seen to have failed repeatedly in more than 2 decades of being somehow involved militarily, politically in Somalia. So I think Turkey naturally saw it as an opportunity, and here is a Muslim country which also facilitated the contact. So I think it was very smart. I think Turkey was very strategic in its engagement with Somalia. It went in, it brought a different approach, a more direct approach, and very, very importantly, it communicated directly with the people. It did not go and stay in the green zone in the airport where Somalis absolutely hate to go inside, because they're treated almost as intruders, even though it is their own country. But Turkey did not do that. It worked outside of the green zone. It was a shock to people to see representatives of Turkey and Turkish companies literally just walking in the street. So I think its engagement was timely. I think it saw an opportunity for to project Turkey's newfound political strength, and then it approached it in a smart fashion, which then also deepened those links and made people appreciate the effort. But of course, it's also about self-interest. On the GCC countries, again, I think obviously the United Arab Emirates is now a regional mini power. There are many Somalis who have lived here, who work here. Much of the businesses located in Somalia, Somaliland, are connected to Dubai, whether it's imports, whether it's money transfer, whether it is a headquarters for the companies. So again, I think United Arab Emirates, particularly in connection with Saudi Arabia and in response to or to advance their wider political interest, for example, with regard to the Yemen conflict, again, see Somalia as an opportunity.